So welcome to District 4, the Innovation and Information and News. I'm your host, Ayla. We're going all in on certain subjects. I know that those of you that are transferring over from TikTok are all worried about TikTok and what we're going to do, and if we're going to fan base or lemonade and all of these things. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and I'm not going to make this video too long. And we'll talk a little bit about the tariffs. Everybody's concerned about what's going on with how this is going to work. Many of the economists say they see disaster, and speaking of Kevin O'Leary, who is an analyst, he also thought at some point there would be a riot. I don't know if it'll be that extreme. But then there are those people that actually agree with the tariffs. So we're going to see how this plays itself out when Trump takes office on the 20th of January. But prior to that, this whole 19th, seems the second most important news. We're talking about TikTok. Now, TikTok is going to be heard by the courts because they did allow, meaning the Supreme Court did allow for them to plead their case. It'll be on the 10th. That's 9 days prior to the shutdown. But it can also, by the president who will be in office on the 20th, get a 90-day extension. That's what a lot of people may think be saving TikTok, or will possibly save TikTok, to give it a new life and a chance to make some sort of compromises. I honestly don't see why some sort of compromise can't be reached. I understand that law applies, and I understand that as it is written, it is a solid law. Okay, there's not a lot of give for that law. It was in a package with other laws that go along with different things, but similar in the sense that it came together with something. So we have to take that into consideration when you're thinking of why this was such a finite decision early on. But there are compromises that can be made. There are some exceptions that can be done. And then also we can get that just 90-day extension in order to come up with these compromises. Prior to that, we have it on the 10th. It could end there, where they just say, listen, we're not going to apply this law to this particular case, and therefore TikTok can continue on. So that's kind of where we're at, speaking in current day as of the taping of this video. But let's go a little bit further down the line. I did want to talk about the upcoming, or at the time it was upcoming, Prince autobiography. Now, Prince has, surprisingly, I know a lot of you don't know this, or the artist formerly known as Prince, but at the time of his passing, he was Prince, had a lot of bios. Now, when I'm speaking to Z or millennials, you might have known him as well as maybe the Xers or people of that generation, and it's because he was more along those timelines. But everybody knows who he was, but not necessarily who he was, in the sense that this biography was going to be unauthorized. But you can touch a lot of that stuff when the artist is no longer living. Prince passed away. So you can kind of get the stuff in these unauthorized biographies that you can't get in normally. Here's the thing. This video, or this autobiography, this film, this picture, may not ever be seen. And I'm getting this from a very reliable source that says very seriously that you cannot tell this story, or it is believed that the story could not be told about Prince and not include his first marriage. Well, that makes sense, right? You've been married, even if it's multiple times, you usually include the marriages in this person's story, because it's a big part of your life. But, and I was surprised to even know this myself, and I was a super huge fan of his, but that when he met his soon-to-be 17-and-a-half-year-old, 18-year-old wife, that she was 16. And he clearly expressed that he was interested in her for more than just mentoring or friendship. And that's hard to take. It's hard to take for anybody. I mean, we're already reeling on, Puffy and, allegedly Jay-Z. But now we're talking about such a Puritan in the sense that he was Jehovah's Witness and he was this and he was that and all of these things. He was drug free, and we found out that that wasn't true. So we're starting to see the cracks in the secrets in Prince's life. And this is not that this wasn't an open secret to people that knew him, but to the public and to the fans, we did not. We knew she was young. Nobody knew she was 16. We knew that they eventually got married and that they had this child. But what we also didn't know, moving further into the story, that is a part of his life, he made her refuse care. Regular prenatal care that every woman that's been pregnant goes through, seeing the doctors and taking care of themselves. And I don't know if that had to do with the fact that he was Jehovah's Witness. One can say. You guys write in and let me know. But realistically speaking, she didn't get any care. This contributed to the ill health of the baby because the doctors that were trying to convince her, alone away from Prince, her meaning Maite Garcia, which was his wife at the time, pregnant with the baby, to get care. She did not want to go against him. They told her that the baby would have health problems. Baby was born, health problems. I think it died 9 days later. Not it, he or she died 9 days later. Okay. So I guess in a weird sort of a way, it would give the impression that Prince denying his wife the opportunity to go to the hospital and care for her baby, as prenatal care exists, contributed to the health problems and ultimately the death of the baby. The contribution to the marriage also speaks to, and Maite has confirmed this sometimes herself, that Prince was insensitive to the fact that the child had died, and that she felt alone, which didn't make him a very good husband. That's a judgment, okay? So those of you that think, oh, he probably will, okay, fine, go ahead and put that in the comment section. But for all seemingly obvious purposes of what you would guide a husband to be, you would think that he would be supportive, if no other time during the pregnancy and ultimately during a death of a child. So Maite Garcia accredits his lack of sensitivity to that subject for her divorce from him, actually. She said that in Hollywood Wives. I did not make that up. You can always fact check me. All right, you guys, we're going to dive a little bit more into this, maybe do a live or something, but I wanted to just cover those basic subjects that we're going to cover. We have to talk a little bit more about the death of the CEO, Brian Thompson, the reactions to Luigi Mangione. I like to say it like that. Because we need to delve into this story, because he is at this point, and I know people are going to be mad about this, considered a hero. They don't want to see this man go to jail. They want him to be a representative of how far people will go when they are denied health care for their loved ones and family members. Not that we would want that to happen again, but even to prevent these types of things from even being a thought, we wanted to make some changes in that healthcare system. And this is how people see the subject. As rare as it is to understand that even the CEO himself, allegedly, Brian Thompson, stated that ahead of time that they should make changes because this was a troubling policies and they would end up being hated in the industry because of the practices that they had at the time. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Think about what you're going to do for your life in this next coming year. It's going to be changes for everyone. We're wrapping up some things, but we're also going into heavy reliance on the government to make some changes that are needed to be made on very big subjects. So we're going to see how this administration is able to maybe correct the mistakes from before, get a little more regulated than they were before, but also make some landmark decisions, because this is his last hurrah. 4 more years, that's what his legacy is going to be. He meaning the President Trump administration. All right, thank you so much, and I will see you guys. See you soon.